कुमार स्वामी नाइक है गोंगो लिबू लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
In this bulletin, suspicious death of Lami shop owner under investigation, bridge replacement to continue, and new cyclone prediction model.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Atera Lendua.
A police investigation is underway to determine the cause of death of a woman found inside her Lami shop. The National Fire Authority was alerted to a small fire in Lami town at about 9 o'clock last night. Firefighters recovered a body of a woman who police say was unresponsive and rushed to the CWM hospital where she was pronounced dead on arrival. Neighbors who raised the alarm about the fire claim there was a man acting suspiciously minutes before the plumes of smoke were seen from the shop windows.
We just heard, I just heard some boys calling me that, so when I went out, they told me that there was smoke coming from next door. So we tried to call the lady, no, the lady that's next door, but there was no response. So my wife came and they told them to call fire brigade.
When that time as gang was down there, we was hearing the screaming, but we thought but we never knew that because when she came down, she was got a knife from her neck. Yeah, that's what we saw last night.
The scrapping of business licenses is the best thing that could happen for aspiring Fijians as the procedure for obtaining them is cumbersome. Local Government Minister Pramila Kumar says some reviews were undertaken to improve the processing time, and now with COVID-19 it is vital to provide ease of doing business. She says this is an opportune time for Fijians to get involved in business to sustain their livelihoods.
Even though the business licensing system would not be there, but obviously there is importance given to municipal councils and other institutions like OHS, as well as other regulatory bodies to ensure that they do the enforcement.
The Fiji Roads Authority will continue its bridge replacement projects in the next financial year. Chief Executive Jonathan Moore says they have purchased 10 modular bridges from the United States worth $2.5 million. Moore says these bridges are double width, extra heavy duty steel, and will be beneficial in Fiji-wide bridge recovery program. The benefits of these bridges include the ease of transportation and assembly, high strength, durability, and the speed of erection. The first 5 bridges will replace the deteriorating ones at Wainra, Waimbao, and Wainimbao. The remaining 5 will arrive in Lautoka at the end of the month.
Fiji's bridges are not in the best condition. They're not about to fall down, but they do need replacement. And there's a 5 to 6 year project to replace many bridges, and we need to do that fairly quickly and very efficiently. So these modular bridges are actually very good for that. And we're in discussion now with another company about bringing in more bridges because we've identified 40 bridges we want to change over the next 5 to 6 years.
Residents of Wakanisila informal settlement in Asinu will soon receive 99-year lease titles. Minister for Housing Pramila Kumar, during a community visit last night, confirmed the development of Wakanisila will cost $4.5 million. Kumar says they've already conducted a survey and are nearing completion of the engineering plan. The minister says the government is committed to helping Fijians in informal settlements.
There are 250 other informal settlements. Every year, the government decides, based on the budget that we have, how many settlements will be under construction, how many settlements will be under the preparatory phase.
The Housing Authority is in the final stages of evaluating tenders for commercial and high-end residential properties. The authority had engaged real estate agents in May to sell these lots. Chief Executive Robert Sen says they have a policy requiring such properties to be sold by tender before being placed with real estate agents. Sen says there has been a lot of interest in these lots.
We are at the final stage of our tender process. We need to go through our board approval and the other approvals so that before we can give them an offer letter.
Fiji and other island nations in the southwest Pacific will have more time to prepare for tropical cyclones with a new forecast outlook model. University of Newcastle scientist Dr. Andrew McGee says the new model can improve early warnings, support advanced disaster management preparedness, and save lives during the tropical cyclone season. The model was developed by a team of climate scientists from the University of Newcastle and the National Institute of Water and Atmospheric Research in New Zealand. Dr. McGee says the model will generate predictions for the number of tropical cyclones up to 4 months before the start of the tropical cyclone season.
It's very important to note that the information that we provide does not and should not replace the advice offered by the Fiji Meteorological Service, but it offers us another tool in our tool belt with which to assist with decision making in the months before the start of the cyclone season.
With the increase in its budget allocation, the Ministry of Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation will ensure there is transparency and policy revision in each department in terms of registering beneficiary applications. The ministry has been allocated $159 million for the next financial year. Minister Mereseni Buniwanga says there is a standard operating procedure in an attempt to make sure money is going to the right people.
We're currently revising our policies around social protection in Fiji to make sure that they make sense and to make sure that the benefits are going to people who are actually registered in the ministry.
26 businesses that felt the effects of COVID-19 will get 3 months free advertising with the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation. These businesses were stringently selected from hundreds of applications and will be able to advertise with either radio, TV or web media to help generate revenue for them. Chief Executive Riyaz Said Qayyum says the assistance will cost FBC $1,800 for radio ads, $2,700 for TV commercials, and $4,500 via the company's website.
Sincerely hope that whatever little help we're trying to give to you today is going to bear fruit in terms of how well you do in your business. Because we all want to not only help people in business, but to encourage you to do well so that you can be an inspiration to other people.
Up ahead, Skipper Cup tickets expected to be available from tomorrow. And Asinu fans fired up after win in Bar.
Hi, my name is Prashant. I live in Suva. I love Mirchi FM because Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
The hype surrounding the first round of the Skipper Cup is building, especially for the Ngurunga and Suva match at Lawanga Park in Singatoka. Fans have turned up at the FRU's headquarters in Suva to buy match tickets. FRU Chief Executive John O'Connor says that the tickets should be available either today or tomorrow. Fans must note that only 50% capacity will be allowed.
This afternoon we will be making announcements on where they can buy tickets from. We're also consulting with other unions who will be having their games at Ratoda Gombau and in Churchill Park. If they can liaise with their council, Rotorua Council and Missouri Town Council, the tickets can be sold from this afternoon or tomorrow.
You can watch the Narunga versus Suva match live and exclusive on FBC Sports on the Walesi platform at 3:30 p.m. this Saturday. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. with the women's curtain raiser. The Lautoka rugby side is blessed to have Yasawa as the second team based in the Sugar City. Lautoka manager Joseph Sikuri says this year there are two unions using Churchill Park as their home ground. Yasawa will play Nandi this weekend, while Lautoka will take on Naitasiri. Lautoka initially faced some challenges with players' fitness not meeting expectations, while financial struggles continue for the Maroons. But Sikuri says they managed to pull through and are now focused on Naitasiri.
Preparation coming on the 25th. We'll count each game in slowly, and we'll see after the whistle is blown after the 80 minutes. We've got two unions coming up from Lautoka. The Sugar City itself, Lautoka and Yasawa. It's always the west and the east.
The 2-0 win against Ba last Saturday has set the pace for Nasinu football for the rest of the Vodafone Premier League season. Coach Tangi Wanalangi says the win boosted not only the morale of the players, but of the Nasinu fans as well. He adds it is just the right tone heading into their clash against Navua on Sunday at 3 p.m. in Osori's Ratu Vakumbau Park.
Boys played their hearts out to win against Ba, and has boosted their morale, not only for the team and players, but also for our fans around the country and around the world. And we hope that they will stick with us in whatever performance the boys will give in the future games ahead.
The live coverage of the Rewa versus Lautoka match will air on FBC Sports and FBC TV at 1 p.m. this Sunday. Watford were charged into the relegation zone after being hammered by Manchester City this morning. The 4-0 defeat, coupled with Aston Villa's win over Arsenal on Tuesday, means the Hornets' battle to stay up will go to the final day of the season on Sunday when they visit Arsenal. We can continue to expect mainly fine weather and cool at night with moderate south to southeast winds. And that's your FBC News now. Join us again at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. In times of crisis, you need news you can trust. Get the facts from verified news sources like FBC's TV, radio and digital news. FBCnews.com.fj, keeping Fijians connected with the truth. Stay safe.
Hi, I'm Ini from Raki Raki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.